Devi Krishnamani Prakta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Sharu Kanti Sammohini Radhi Vrindavana Deshi Karuna Mritabhahini Kripaya Nijapadabjadasha Majjham Pradiyata Radhi Vrindavanadhishi Karunamrita Bahini Kripaya Nijapadabjadasha Majjham Pradiyata Vrindavanadhishi Karunamritabhahini Kripaya Nijapadabhijadasham Majjham Pradiyata Devi Krishnamai Prakta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sharva Kanti Sammohini Para Devi Krishnamai Prakta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sharva Kanti Sammohini Para Radhe Vrindavanadhishi Karunamritabhahini Kripaya Nijapadabjadasham Majjham Pradiyata Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gauranga Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Haripriya Pranamami Haripriya. My loving regards to all of you, the good-hearted devotees assembled here now. See, we are all, ultimately we are all eternal, near and dear relatives to each other. in relation to the Supreme Absolute Divine Truth. In other words, in relation to the Supreme Absolute Truth, our beloved Lord. See, since we are all energy particles of the same Lord, we are none other than the potency, energy of that all-pervading universal superpower, which is called as Supreme God, Supreme Lord. While the realized souls see the personality, unlimited personality in the all-pervading universal superpower, unlimited superpower, then it becomes God. Same unlimited superpower is called as God or Supreme Lord by different names. The Supreme Absolute Divine Truth can be manifesting in impersonal energy form, also sweet, loving personal form, beautiful personal way. So the manifestation of Supreme Divine Truth happens both ways. In personal energy form, by means of impersonal energy manifestation, also personal manifestations. While the same absolute truth manifested in a more impersonal energy form called Brahma, Parama Brahma, universal superpower. Same universal superpower manifest in personal, transcendental, personal way, personal form, then called as Bhagavan, Supreme God, Supreme Lord. So, all of you must understand, all of you should be believing in the fact that you are all very fortunate. All of you who have come today, have been present in this assembly, are no doubt very fortunate. Sometimes, or at certain great moments, our higher fortune of life make a start in a very simple, invisible way. We may not be able to understand its starting point. If we look into the history of great successful lives, whether materially or spiritually, okay, great successful lives, we see they make a start sometimes in a very simple, small way somewhere. It's like planting the seeds, sprouting. But in the beginning, although it looks like very simple, plain, small, but that's a starting point. That can be a very starting point of a big future success. Especially in this higher spiritual world, things happen in a very mystical, miraculous ways. We always are not able to directly understand and judge them by our limited mundane intelligence. Okay. Some great beginning of this success may start in just a very simple, plain way. Looks very simple, plain, we do not understand the value. Okay, like planting the seeds. But while from the same plantation of the seeds, sprouts coming up, and at some point is developing into great trees and producing fruits and all, then we understand so much value, understand the special value of the plantations. Although in the beginning it looks like too simple, planting the seeds, nothing is there, nothing is happening. But that has got great prospect to be manifesting in future. In a similar way, today all of you came, all of you the good souls came over here in the spiritual function, in the function of Krishna consciousness over here. Small group, looking like very simple arrangement. You have all come just sitting in a simple way. Plain, everything plain. But this can have immense value. Whether or not we directly understand about it, it has got immense value spiritually. This has to be understood spiritually, not materially objective way. Because while we try to judge things in a more materially tangible objective way, then we need something, opulence, gorgeousness, this gain, that gain, then we consider, it is gain some, it is something successful, worthwhile. But spiritually, it works. Many things, many of our endeavors, spiritual endeavors, starts in a very simple, plain way. But they can lead us towards invaluable success in future. Invaluable success. So we must not consider so there is a saying among the monks, one of the principles of life practices, life ideas, that plain living, high thinking. Many of the great realized souls, great saintly persons, had that kind of lifestyle, plain living, high thinking, living in a plain, renounced way, but absorbed in the world of higher realization. High thinking is meaning towards their absorption in the world of higher divine realizations. They are so rich in the higher world of the realization of the higher divine truth. They are so rich spiritually, divinely, so opulent, divinely, but materially, objectively, living in a very plain way, simple way. So, things in the spiritual world, things in the practices of higher spiritual world, things in higher spiritual life often manifests, often starts in a very plain, simple way, apparently looking very simple, but they actually becomes the cause of some invaluable attainment in the future, yet to manifest. Just as I gave the example, plantation of the seeds. The matured persons understand the value of the planting of the seeds. Immature persons, inexperienced persons cannot understand because they do not have the proper knowledge. They will think, oh, what is this? Small seeds put in the mud. What is the big thing about? So much labor. But the matured people know it needs to be cultivated. It's going to bring big result. There is valuable results, higher results in future. So back to the point. All of you, the fortunate souls, come over here today being assembled. Never think of, oh, things are happening too simple, plain way, just cultural way, we need to come, need to be having some get together, some nice program, okay, complete, be casual, no. Often things, many valuable things start in our life in an apparently simple, plain way, but with great values. Especially in the spiritual world, often we don't directly understand those values. They remain mystified way, mystically covered. They need to be understood spiritually, not apparent material way. Spiritual values, spiritual things, spiritual achievements must be understood in a spiritual way, through spiritual understandings and dimensions. It is spiritual attainment, not unlike mortal material achievement. Attainment of the inner world, our inner world, world of the soul. So, many things happen, wonder. For one of the great examples is Srila Swami Prabhupada. Srila Swami Prabhupada's life. The way he made a start, just in a simple, plain way, sitting in the park, surrounded by some good-hearted hippie, good soul hippies people, started chanting, singing, very simple, plain way, depending upon the sweet will of the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. Something most wonderful happened just from that simple starting point. He could feel into that. Supreme Lord brought me to the Western country to fulfill His purpose. Mahaprabhu, divine couple, brought me here in the Western countries to be fulfilling their specific purpose. So, he also prayed. He wholeheartedly engaged in the prayer to the Supreme Lord Krishna, Radhika Mahaprabhu. By the order of my Gurudev, by the order of my Guru, great Gurudev, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, I have come here to distribute your divine treasure, to uphold, to preach and propound your glories, my Lord. Help me. So please help me to become successful in your service, in your devotional service, and fulfill the order of my Gurudev, fulfill the divine will of my great, glorious spiritual master, divine master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Krishna Radharani responded to the prayer. So apparently, you all know, he said, the way he felt. He said he did not know which direction to go. No money in the pocket. Doesn't even know which direction to go. Doesn't know about the shelter. Thanks. he felt so confident to stay protected and to be guided, receive the blessed guidance from his divine Lord Krishna. He will be protecting him and nurturing him, guiding him. And that's what happened. And one of the starting points was simple way, just sitting in the park, small kurta, started chanting, singing Panchatattva Mahamantra, surrounded by some simple, good-hearted hippie people. From that point, something most wonderful manifested. One of the great examples how great things can start in an apparently simple way, mystical, wonderful mystical way. So, there are many such examples from the great lives. Sometimes we don't know how to value some great things coming very close to me in our spiritual life. In our spiritual life, it often mystically happens. Some great benediction, achievement, blessings coming close to me, but I don't know how to recognize. I don't know how to connect with, relate, because I can't recognize properly. We may lose the chance. We may also embrace that chance, blessed chance. So, therefore, in the spiritual life, higher spiritual life, we all need to stay, always need to stay more open-hearted, open-minded, open-hearted, inviting the higher truths, higher divine realities to come to my life, come close to me, absorb me, and accept me to be absorbed in that higher divine truth. So we should be inviting, welcoming, with open mind and heart. Then it happens. Revelations come. At some point, higher revelations start happening. Very mystical, mysterious, but very wonderful, wonderful experience. That's how it happens in the lives of the great pure devotees, exalted, realized devotees, realized souls. Cannot be judged in a limitedly, objectively calculated way, mundanely limited, calculated way. After all, the nature of achievement is spiritual, not material. Cannot be understood in a material way. Can never be understood, properly understood in material way, material sense. It has to be understood spiritually. Why I am saying all this? That you all don't consider that you all just came over here and everything is looking so simple and plain, but should not consider, because things looking simple and plain, so it is less valuable. Or such get-together is less valuable, less important, or just simple, not so valuable. No. Lord Krishna says, Salpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato vaya. Even the small connection of mine, little connection about me can liberate you from great misery, great fear of misery. In other words, can liberate you, can help you to be liberated, to be freed from the great misery of the mortal world can save you from the ocean of birth and death, from the mortal life, can lead you from mortality towards immortality, from the death to the deathless immortal life, from the darkness of ignorance towards the light divine lights of divine wisdom. So from ignorance to from the science to the science, ignorance to the lights of higher realizations. So we know that mantra. Om Ashato Ma Shatgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya Mitro Ma Amritangamaya. The great sages, Muni Rishis, Bhakta Yogis, great saintly personalities, engaged in cultivating that divine lifestyle. See, in a simple way, living in the forest, sometimes in the mountain cave, sometimes living in the forest in a plain way, but engaged in such high way, engaged in cultivating such high divine life, simply living in the lap of nature. All those beautiful hymns, this is one example only. Ashato Ma Shatgamaya. Oh my divine Lord, my divine Lord, beloved Lord, my Master, beloved Master, please lead me from Ashat to Shat. Kindly lead me from untruth towards the truth, from temporary existence towards the permanent, eternal, my eternal divine existence. Ashat means both, Shat, Asat. Asat means temporary, mortal, also untruth. Shat means truth. And truth, eternal principle, means both ways. So in this way, oh my beloved Lord, please lead me from untruth towards the divine truth, means your divine truth, which is you. I repeat, oh my divine Lord, please lead me from untruth towards your divine truth, towards you, who is none other than infinite embodiment of all divine truth. Let me have it. Let me have the entrance into that world. And Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya. Please lead me from the darkness of ignorance towards the lights. Lights of divine wisdom of you. I repeat, please lead me from the darkness to light, meaning lead me from the darkness of ignorance towards your world, divine world, the light is filled with lights of wisdom. Mitrolmam amritangamaya. Lead me from death, mortal life, towards the deathless life, life of immortality, filled with nectar, immortal nectarian life, in connection with you. So, all of you must understand, you are all fortunate souls. There are so many people all around. All of them how many of them are having the fortune of coming in connection with Krishna Katha, spending some time absorbed in the higher divine topics about Supreme Lord. It is special fortune, very valuable. So you have all ground to feel that you are all fortunate. This way. Back to the point. Supreme Lord and the pure devotees, pure devoted lovers of the Supreme Lord are explaining in different places about the truth. Not only through this verse, Salpamapyasya dharmasya nehavikkamanashasti pratyavayana vidyati Salpamapi dharmasya trayate mahoto bhayat. Not only through this verse, also other places. That even receiving a little bit of connection of mind, a small connection, tiny connection with me can save you from the great fear of miserable life, mortal existence filled with birth and death. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshan. Our lives are, on the material plane, our lives are filled with these four, full of these four criteria, inevitable. Birth, janma, mrityu, birth, death, jara, old age, sickness of the old age, and bad. So jara means old age and badi means sickness. You cannot avoid all these four stages, these four symptoms, four conditions, four types of conditions. None of us can avoid as long as living on this material plane. They're inevitable for all of us as long as living on the mundane plane of existence. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Our birth, okay, the miserable way of being born is not very happy, very comfortable, the way we are born even. Okay. Then our old age, our sickness, and ultimately death. So all are troublesome and all bring so much difficulties and miseries, pains, miserable experiences in our life. Although our life has got good experiences of enjoyment, happiness, delight, higher delight and joy. But as we go to analyze, overall, as we go to analyze the nature of mundane existence, is mostly filled with difficulties, unhappiness, failures, miseries, etc. Okay. We're trying so hard to feel happy, to enjoy our life 95%. We're spending so much time, energy, working so hard, 95% of the energy, time we're investing to enjoy, to keep us happy, keep our life happy, for our enjoyment. So then, 5% happiness coming to 100%, and that is also not staying, going away. So vulnerable, so futile. After trying hard for 95%, investing 95% of our time, energy, and trying very hard, okay, to feel happy, to enjoy our life, and then what happens? At the end we feel so tired, so exhausted. 5% of happiness coming, and that is also not staying even permanently. So, therefore, the great sages, realized souls have described this mundane lifestyle as very futile, very less important, less valuable compared to a higher divine lifestyle. In higher divine lifestyle, all these mortal effects, influence, all these mortal mundane limitations are not present. That is called liberated life. What means when we say liberated? Liberated means liberation. Liberty means liberty. Liberation means liberations. So the conception of life divine, higher devotional life divine, in relation to the Supreme Absolute Good, Absolute Lord, the personification of all power, eternity, beauty and bliss, which are so most desirous things, most desired things, cherished objects in our life. And Supreme Lord means this sum total, the embodiment, personification of all those cherished, ever cherished objects of life, values of life. See? So, as we cultivate our lifestyle, as we keep on cultivating our life in connection with that all-pervading, supreme divine Lord, who is Purnam, who is complete in all respects, who is fulfilled in all aspects and respects. And as we attain the connection, relationship with the supreme divine truth, who is self-fulfilled, then in that connection we also start having a life divine of fulfillment, beyond limitations, mortal limitations, mundanely influence mortal limitations and miseries. And it is quite possible to attain that life divine in relation to, in connection with the supreme divine truth, absolute truth, that of transcendental nature, perfect, full of perfection, perfect in all aspects and respects. So, with the attainment of the supreme, perfect, absolute truth, no matter whatever small way we have that attainment, we also start receiving that quality of fulfillment, going beyond mortal limitations. Unfulfilled material life, miserable material life. So in other places also, Lord Krishna, pure devotees, pure, the very exalted, realized personalities, devotees also explain. Don't underestimate even the little connection, even the tiny little but pure connection with the supreme absolute good, supreme absolute divine truth in your life. Don't underestimate. That can bring immense benedictions, immense benefits, immense gain, higher gain in your life. Today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. I'm talking poetically. Okay. It may not be understood then and there. Many things we don't understand in our life then and there. But as the result starts coming, then we understand that they become more tangibly understood. Okay, it's happening. So, many things start in our life in visible way, not understood way. But when it comes to certain surface of our cognition, when it comes up to certain surface of our cognition, certain surface of our awareness, then only we understand, we come to understand that. Okay. Many things, bad or good, start happening. Please be listening, don't be missing my points. You will be missing links. Many things, good or bad, make a start in our life more subtle, invisible ways. We do not immediately understand, but as it comes more on the certain surface level of our understanding, then we start understanding. I often give the examples like ultrasonic sound, subsonic sound. We cannot hear. Subsonic sound or ultrasonic sound we hear in a normal way. We cannot see many light frequencies, sound frequencies, light frequencies. With our naked eye, directly we cannot perceive. We cannot directly hear so many sound frequencies. Okay, electromagnetic frequencies we cannot directly understand, but they are right here in front of us, filling this space. We don't directly understand, but they are truth, they are realities. So many things in this universe we cannot directly perceive, understand, but still they are happening. Still they are realities of different dimensions, different dynamics. So we cannot always be, overconfidently we cannot always be based on a limited perception, thinking, if I don't understand, nothing is there. If I understand, only that is truth. When I don't understand something, there is no truth. No, that is ignorance. Because the ability of our perception is so limited. The ability of our perception, our perceptive abilities are always so limited within a certain range. A certain range of feelings, understand. We cannot understand beyond, we cannot understand below. We cannot, I repeat, we cannot be understanding below that range of our perception or beyond that range. But whether or not we understand, but things are happening. Realities are happening on different dimensions without depending on whether I am understanding or not. They are going on their own way, self-dependent, natural ways as organized by the cosmic creation, by the superpower. So, similarly, suppose other examples. Some sickness starts in our body. We don't immediately realize. But after some times, when it comes up onto the surface, certain level, then we realize, oh, I am getting sick. But it did not start immediately. And immediately we realize it already started, began, slowly developing. Then it comes on the certain surface of our awareness level. Then we think, oh, I am getting sick. In a similar way, that is a negative example. In a similar way, many good things also starting in our life. When some good things, good effects, health also beginning to happen in our life, we immediately don't understand how that health is coming up. Good, healthy effects is happening. When it comes up onto the certain level of our understanding, surface of our awareness, cognition, then we understand, okay, now I am getting healthy. But that process of getting healthy already started, began in a very invisible, initial, very subtle way. Whether process of sickness or process of getting healthy, all are starting, but at the very starting point we may not be able to feel it, directly understand, perceive it, because of our limitations of the perceptions. But whether or not we can directly perceive the subtle levels due to the limitations of our range of perception, ability of perception, but still the truth is happening. Realities are there, happening on different subtle dimensions, either below our perception or beyond our perceptions, happening. Similarly, coming in even little connection, receiving even little connection, small connection with the Supreme Divine Lord Krishna, with the divine world of Krishna consciousness, is so helpful, so beneficial. Whether or not we directly, immediately realize about it, we have to understand that. Even the little connection of mind, small connection of mind can bring so much good in your life, yet to manifest. A little seed, little activity of plantation of seed can in future bring a very big result, huge result with so much fruits, although it's looking so small. It's a starting point. Everything looks small and simple at the starting point, in the beginning, in the initial stage, because it's initial stage, elementary stage. But it's very valuable. See, having inception in the mother's womb is beginning in a very small way, but it's very valuable. Life is starting from the soul's plane. It's so small, subatomic. The conception of the soul almost subatomic. It's much smaller than even atom, subatomic. But it is so powerful, the subatomic entity of the energy particle of Krishna in me, I repeat, apparently subatomic entity, none other than a tiny energy particle of the marginal potency of Krishna in me as my soul, is so powerful center. It is keeping my whole body and mind, everything alive. Like we understand these days through scientific, we also understand the nucleus is so powerful. Nucleus, although small, but it's energy center. So much energy being derived from the small, apparently small looking central point. So small is not small. Apparently little is not little. Apparently small looking is not that small. It can be energy center. So, similarly, apparently, physically, or the measurement of our soul, soul cannot be physically conceived. It has to be conceived spiritually. Cannot be truly conceived materially or objectively. Impossible. Because it's spirit soul. Spirit soul must be conceived spiritually, not materially. Because it is transcending the material concept, material understanding. How can I conceive of something which is transcending the material existence in a material way? Cannot be. So apparently, objectively, apparently in some material conception of measurement, even though soul is being described as very small, but it's very powerful. So it is really not small. Okay? The bigness and smallness. Okay. Bigness and smallness can never be judged based on apparent physical measurement. It is judged based on its power, energy, its fruit, its result. So, although soul appears to be very subtle, very fine, and we understand the more the energy gets subtle and fine, the bigger it becomes powerful, the more powerful it becomes. It works that way. So that smallness is not really smallness, that represents bigness. It represents so much power. Apparently tiny atom, while put into the practice, while put into the process, all those very small atoms, while used, while utilized, understood, while utilized through the process, that can manifest so much power. Through the process of fusions. Atoms, all those apparently looking atoms can manifest huge power. But apparently, power particle is not looking so huge, I mean, by physical measurement, but it is truly big with regard to the power conception, power and power judgment, power consideration is so big and huge, more than apparently looking big object. So, spiritual world, nature of higher spiritual world and the nature of higher spiritual attainment is mystically wonderful. Ultimately, the Supreme Divine Spirit, the Supreme Divine Being, Supreme Divine Power has been described by Holy Scriptures as bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest. Wonderful way of expressing. Ultimately, it's inconceivable by limited human brain, limited human conceptual abilities. It is inconceivable, cannot be fully comprehended. But therefore, we have to be using such ways of the language, such words, such ways of the expressions, as bigger than the biggest, greater than the greatest, and smaller than the smallest, or finer than the finest. See how wonderful reality, how wonderful character of that. So therefore, even receiving my little connection, little pure connection of mind, small connection of mind can save your life. Don't underestimate it. Lord saying. So, we're all fortunate souls. Somehow or other we are coming in that connection. Brought together. By some special fortune we are brought together to be assembled in relation to divine. Divine Krishna consciousness. So, I appreciate all of your presence, good hearts.